Hello, today for review I've got a pretty interesting middle segment model. Actually it's probably not middle segment but middle of entry segment because price is $50. I will put links to the shop in the description, and it's a hybrid in-ear monitors featuring 10mm dynamic driver and single balanced armature. So we've seen many such models before, but this one has a pretty unusual and distinctive design. I will cover it a bit later. Speaking about technical specifications, sensitivity is 100 decibels and impedance is 18 ohms, so basically model doesn't require high driving power, and at the same time it's not too peaking for the background noise. So basically pretty interesting in terms of specifications, but let's have a closer look. Box is small, but at least it's not the typical matchbox like design. Polygraphy is modest but looks really stylish. Inside we'll have earphones themselves, so let me pull them out, then I can stick finger this way and get it out. So in-ear monitors, stock cable and additional set of tips. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3 pair of double flange tips and 3 pair of single flange tips, and this time they are a bit unusual, so they are a bit smaller than regular tips. In terms of design, Guideray is, I think it's pretty epic name for in-ear monitors. Guiderays are pretty attractive, so I've got GR-i18 probably. There are two another color versions, they have different number code. As you can see, they are made of acrylic in the typical ergonomic shape, and they feature nice, attractive, stabilized wood faceplate, so each pair will be unique and distinctive. So I think in this price range it's much better than traditional regular stock design featured by KZ and other companies. As you can see, spouts are pretty long, they are a bit longer than average, so sound isolation is also a bit higher than average, but not too much. There is a lip for holding the tips and protective grill, so everything that is important for the comfortable wearing is present. Actually, tips are softer than regular, so this lip is required to provide the appropriate holding. It's semi-transparent, so you can see internals, you can see dynamic driver, you can see balanced armature driver, separate sound tubes. Maybe video won't show it completely, but it's clearly visible. Cable is made replaceable. Here used traditional 2-pin connectors, no recessed sockets or recessed pins this time, so just regular, absolutely standard 2-pin connectors. Stock cable is fitting pretty tightly, so some force is required to attach it properly, but I think it's a good thing, so you will have reliable and stable connection. And here too, so just push it as hard as possible. So stock cable is also looks pretty nice. Sorry, my cat is snoring in the background, maybe you can hear that. I don't want to wake him up. There are versions with microphone and remote control and without it. Microphone is average, it will be enough to be used in the quiet environment, but when it's noisy outside you will have to move it closer to your mouth. Cable is pretty attractive, there are ear hooks, but no memory wire, so it's just for more wearing comfort. It's attractive, it looks nicely, it's accurately braided, and it goes down to the standard angle jack, so as you can see everything is built really well, looks really attractive. So Guideray spent some time, invest some efforts into design and build. In terms of sound, it's V-shaped signature with accent on lows and on treble with added weight and a bit smooth mids. So basically it's kind of warmer V-shape without too aggressive treble. Let's have a player on the table. They require few hours of burn-in, but I don't think that it's necessary to spend separate time burning them in. Just start listening them and they will the sound will be settled in few hours. Of course, it's required to find the proper tips, because tips play a vital role in the forming correct sound here, and that's probably all that you will need to get them to start listening them. So let's say so. So bass is accented. Main accent is made on the mid bass and upper bass, but there are deeper layers of bass are present too, but they are a bit recessed compared to the mid bass. So it's basically typical low frequencies with accent on the middle of this frequency range. Resolution is normal, not superb, but it's okay. It's not too focused on the detalization. It's more focused on weight and delivering slam and delivering additional weight and warmth. Pretty enjoyable texturing, and but instrument separation in the low domain sometimes could be better. As an example, I've got Musica Nuda and No Sunshine. Nice tune, and as usual it's typical Musica Nuda. It's a really good recorded acoustic double bass and contrasting female vocal sound. It's sounding really enjoyable and natural, and with a big body of this acoustic double bass. Mids are a bit softened, so it's not the in-ear monitors for those who like maximum micro contrast, not the model for those who like super resolution. It's more for those who prefer more warmer and more analog-like sounding. Basically, mid frequencies here is played by the dynamic driver. I think I'm not sure about crossover tuning here, but I think it's safe to assume that mid frequencies are delivered by the dynamic driver and treble is played by balanced armatures. It's noticeable by the representation of these in-ear monitors. So it's a vintage, a bit warmer signature with good emotions. They are really forgiving in terms of record quality, so they don't require something super audiophilic in terms of tracks or something like that. And imaginary stage is a bit below average, but still pretty okay, but vocal is moved a bit forward, so vocal is sounding more intimate than regular. And as an example for the mids, what I've got actually, it's Rival Sons, it's Thundering Voices. Pretty enjoyable track. Of course, a bit more resolution would be better to play these distorted guitars, but at the same time vocal sounding really weighty, and it's adding a bit of presence effect for this track. And treble, actually treble is slightly accented, but not too much, and it's not even close, at least at my scale, to be in sharp sounding or to be in too fatiguing on the treble. It's a typical good single balanced armature treble with nice resolution, a bit faster attacks and decays, average extension, and sounding more or less neutral and natural. Treble here balancing the low frequencies to to some aspect, but not completely there, because it would be logical to add a bit more treble, but Guideray probably wanted to make them sounding more polite and more comfortable on in the treble area. And as an example, I've got unusual track. I actually don't know much details about this album. Probably group band name is The Heavies. I've bought them at the some compact disc second hand and grabbed them. But Heavy Mega Metal Marathon, it's an interesting album where they play a lot of heavy metal and hard rock hits, changing one by one, kind of potpourri of popular tunes, and it's sounding really enjoyable, and it's a really interesting album. So Hardwear mix, it's played like a live record, but I'm not sure is it a real live record or it's just audience added in the background, because audience isn't sounding too realistic in this track. But anyway, this track is recorded normally, and it has normally recorded percussion, so it requires nice resolution on the treble to play it correctly, and these in-ear monitors do it pretty okay. In terms of driving power, they don't require something super powerful, and at the same time they don't require something with absolutely black background. I think it's a normal pairing for smartphone or for some entry-level dub. So basically, once again, I'd summarize, it's a warmer V-shape with a bit of added weight and warmth both on lows and on mids. I won't spend much time speaking about comparisons, because for example KZ ZS10 Pro is sharper on the treble, has more resolution on the mids and less weight, and also it has a bit faster and drier low frequencies. KZ ZS-EX, probably X, that one that is called Terminator, because I'm always trying to call them ZST, but they're not T, they are ZSX. They are more natural with tighter low frequencies, and also it's less weighty on the mids, and treble is a bit more extended but about the same amount. So I think you can already got an idea how do they sound. Just think of any warm dynamic driver headphones, earphones, and add a balanced armature on top. So I can't say that it's giant killer or it's a model that will suit everyone, because it has definitely colored output, and if you like such signature you can listen to them, and it's quite likely you will enjoy them. But if you like something more natural, you need to consider some other model. I will also admit that they are really nicely built and really comfortable and really stands out in terms of design in this price range. So it was Guideray GR-i18. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.